Let's see what this question has to say. Hi, Mukti. Are there different facets to the experience of life beyond self? That's with a with a lowercase s. So you could say life beyond organizing fundamentally around the ego structure founded in lack and push and pull and seeking that I've been talking about. So are there different facets to the experience beyond that? There is one experience, quote unquote, I visit fairly often lately, which I could best describe as what you call the gaze of eternity or ground of being. But it's not the only way that life seems to be changing lately. There are also moments where the U-turn of self-reflection, I could talk about that in a minute, is very thin. And so self-obsession is gone. The mind is not commenting, but otherwise it's absolutely normal and unremarkable. Blessings and gratitude. So I think this person is, really clearly answering their own question in the sense that they're reporting these facets of experience of life beyond the concretization around the ego structure, right? And so they've given two or three examples here, and so that's beautiful that this person's discovering those. And as far as me adding to those, first I would just love to share, like, the reason why this person, I believe, the reason why this person is putting the word experience in quotes is that when we rest out of this fundamental sense of me that's steering experience, when that softens out of the center and it really gives way to the moment as a whole, you could say that the experiencer, the identity of who we are as the experiencer that's vying for very specific experiences and steering away from very specific experiences, that experiencer gives way. And often it's stated that the experiencer that experiences various states, when that softens out of the center of experience or just like disappears or recedes, that what remains is sometimes called the non-state, because that non-state doesn't arise to a sense of the experiencer of states as a central identity or energetic, So the other term that the person used that was the U-turn of self-reflection that I think is good to point out. Adya was the first person I heard speak about this. I who knows if there's ever an original idea that wasn't had before and who else is using these ideas, but Adya would speak about this self-referencing. So we can be going about life and encountering things and, how do I feel about that? What do I think about that? What does this mean for me? Is this going to give me what I want? Things like that. There's this constant self-referencing, but there can be in the narrative or just the thoughts that go through the day. It can be this constant reflection back. Am I doing this right? Or all kinds of things. Now, when we drop below the neck, we might be looking within, but it doesn't feel quite like that U-turn of, And sometimes when people get a sense of their nature as awareness and that mode of just being aware, not I am the one who's aware of this, there's just awareness. And it's without edge or boundary. Sometimes people get a sense of that through global listening. And as they just let their listening stretch out or their seeing stretch out, like looking out across the ocean or the vistas, that there's this open, receptive, energetic, and less tendency to gather in the energy in the moment to, this is what I want. right? So when there's this kind of openness, there's this sense of, oh, this is this spacious awareness. And when we're relaxed into that, really relaxed into that, the concretization of the me or the ego structure tends to relax also out of the picture. So, and it's not only through relaxation, but that's kind of often the easiest way in for people. Can also be through structure. Oh, I'm just going to give myself this posture and relax and rest into it and occupy it. And then the body has, the sense of place, as an example. So this U-turn of self-reflection doesn't tend to happen so much when we sense our nature as awareness. But often people will be like, oh my gosh, there is no me unless I think about it, unless I refer back to it. I am awareness. And then sometimes what can happen is we get involved in our particular humanness and our to-dos and our whatever it might be, our calendar or relating. And all of a sudden, there might be, when our functional mind's really foreground, we might be thinking, oh, is awareness still there? And then there's this U-turn to check awareness. Am I aware of awareness? Am I aware that I'm awareness? And so there can also be this further sense of self-referencing. But as that falls away, this person saying that U-turn and self-reflection becomes very thin. It's a nice way of putting it. You could say it recedes or kind of goes to the background. The mind is not commenting, but otherwise it's absolutely normal and unremarkable. I love that. We're right back in this moment, right? And but in a fresh way.